Okay, we're live?
Looks like it.
Okay, hey everybody.
Boston, were you able to have a good Christmas?
Yeah, except for some asshole stole the tree in our front yard. We bought 2 trees, like as is tradition in our neighborhood. It's a bunch of old people, and it's our first year last year. And we can order trees through the homeowners association, and so they're $20. These gigantic trees for $20, and they deliver them. So last year we didn't get one; we only got one, and then everybody on our street like puts one out in their front yard and lights it up, and you can, and it's really pretty at night. So this year we got the 2, and then we put one out front. We did colored lights because we really wanted to like decorate it, whatever. And it was up for like 2 days, and somebody came through and stole it. So it was like, when I see the Grinch, like he's gonna get kicked in the dick.
Was it just your guys' tree, or did they take?
Yeah, it's just ours. It was just ours. We were the only one with colored lights, and like, so I have to think there was like maybe somebody who like really was like had a family and couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I have to think that it wasn't just some rowdy punk ass kids that were just decided to steal a tree, and drag it behind a truck or whatever. Like, hopefully it was like somebody that like came home with the stolen tree and then like made his family happy or something. So that's all I can hope for.
That's well, God bless. All right, I just put out the link so people can watch this live if they want and suffer with us. I also think I typed the word "now" 2 or 3 times in that tweet, so people point that it's happening.
I didn't even read it. I just saw the first, like, what it said. I saw it there.
But it stresses immediacy. Watch now, right now. It's like, oh, I'm watching. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to hop on this.
Pull the car over. Actually, if somebody pulls their car over to watch this and can prove that, I'll send them like $10 on PayPal. I don't have $10 or PayPal, so. All right. Do we want to hop right into this? How do we want to do this tonight?
Sounds good to me.
I do like that. It's like when we're talking with people, and it's like, I mean, we just came up with the 3 Buttsketeers. Like, I can't imagine was too much thought that went into that. And it's like, yeah, of course, that sounds great. And then it's like, as we're talking to people, they keep going they're like, oh, I spelled it wrong. Like when they're trying to find it on iTunes, and it's like they keep spelling it Buttsketeers. The 3 Buttsketeers.
Yeah, dude. Every single time that one of us makes a tweet about the Buttsketeers, which, yeah, there was 0 thought in that. I think I said it, and then Jacob was like, yeah, that's good. But every single time, even today, somebody else was like, every time I say it to myself in my head, I say Buttsketeers. And I was like, well, that's your own thing. That's your own problem. It's Buttsketeers. It's pretty obvious when it's prefaced with 3. I figured you would get it, but people still don't. That's fine.
Buttsketeers is fine, too.
I'll skeet a butt. I don't care.
It's nothing to skeet a butt, man. I'm not above that.
It ain't nothing, bro. I skeeted a butt like 2 hours ago.
Oh, we are doing well.
Yeah, this is good. People will want to watch this because it's important.
Mitch said he's watching this instead of the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like, what are they doing? Like, it's 8:45 on a Saturday. Like, this might be like pre-going out. They're just like hanging around, pre-gaming, and then it's a good time.
Yeah, actually, someone already did say that they're watching this instead of the NFL playoffs. Shouts out to Mitch. Shouts out to Mitch Haverty.
Oh yeah. Well, then let's go ahead and hop into this. So the topic tonight, I mean, we definitely have not exhausted genitalia, as is proved by the last one. I'm sure there'll be many more of that. We're going to try, hopefully, to steer away from that and not be such a great one-trick pony. So tonight we're going to talk about about shitty jobs, like the jobs we've had that are shitty, and just our experiences with jobs and what they mean to like people our age and whatnot.
Yeah. Yes. And there's a lot of ways a job can be shitty, which I think we'll find through this. We probably all had very different experiences because people think shitty job and you think, oh yeah, working with your hands or out in the sun. No, no, no. There's a lot of different kinds of shit. Yeah. It's a very complex thing.
As soon as I started thinking about it, the more I realized, like, maybe I haven't had so many shitty jobs as I'm a shitty employee, but I'm still excited to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. And the shit can be in you. I mean, you can have a great job and be shitty, and then that's a shitty job because you're doing it with yourself who is shitty. I think.
Do you guys have one that you really want to start off with that we can get things going?
Yeah, I have a kind of a weird one that came to mind first when you first said shitty jobs. So yeah, this was when I was a little bit younger at a weird point in my life. I was counting the other day. I think I've probably worked at like 10 or 12 different places, including everything from first jobs as a teenager up until now. So probably like 10 to 15. But anyway, one time I worked at this car wash. So I just moved away from the area that I was familiar with. Didn't know what to do. I was younger, needed money, so there was a car wash around the street, and like I always was not about that, but figured I would do it because it seemed easy, and I saw the guys that were working there were like really fat and dumb looking, and I was like, well, I bet they probably want me washing their cars instead of those guys, so I went and applied, and they hired me. But it turns out, all right, the dudes that worked there they told me they were Korean, and like I didn't really think of it at the time, and then it turns out that they were refugees that were originally from North Korea, or what is now the People's Republic of Korea. They had like 16 cameras in this place. 0 were focused on the customers. It was all on the employees. So like they were just watching us the whole time because I guess they hired like dirtbags that would steal. So it was really bad. I worked with a bunch of like really shitty people, and they were spying on us all the time. One time I sat down, like cars would come through and you'd like wash and dry them and all this shit. There weren't enough people, so like you'd have to run back and forth between the washing and drying part alongside all the machinery. So you're like running on this slippery surface and there's these huge things spinning next to you. Like, I'm sure that OSHA would have a fucking field day in shutting that place down. This place was so ghetto. I remember, yeah, they must have really hired like scumbags and ex-cons. Anyway, I quit after a week, 5 days. Worked 5 days just to get some money, and then I quit. But yeah, the first day I was there, I knew it was really shitty and that they hired scummy dudes because they were like, all right, it's lunchtime now. You get a half hour. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to Wawa and get lunch. And they were like, well, do you need money? I was like, no, I have money. Like, I have a wallet with money in it. I'm a person. Why would you give me money? Well, a lot of guys, when they start off here, they don't have anything. So we'll give them $5 to get their lunch with. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So like you take it out of their pay? They're like, yeah, we just basically take like an hour's worth of pay, and then we give it to you for your lunch. And I was like, so the dudes that you hire to work here are so down and out that they don't have the money to get lunch? Like, did they have breakfast? What did they eat yesterday? How have these people been surviving with 0 money? So anyway, I quit after 5 days, and it was hard to even get my check from them because they're North Korean and they were real feisty. But I got it away, and yeah, so that was one shitty job.
My first job, I was in high school, and my sister, it was a Japanese steakhouse, and my sister was really good friends with the owner, Mimi's Japanese Steakhouse in Greenville, South Carolina. And so one night she had was talking to her, and they said something. Oh yeah, we need an extra, have a part-time busboy position opening. And I was like 15 at the time. I had my driver's permit or my learner's permit, and I could drive like after 7 because I had basketball practice. I had like special exception, so like I was the coolest 15-year-old ever with riding around in a '94 Camry. And so I got this job. And my sister said, go in and talk to this guy or whatever. And so I went in, and the guy who was hosting was her nephew. Was like at the host stand, and I was like, yeah, I came in about the busboy position. And he's like, we're not hiring. And I was like, oh, well, Mimi had told me to come in. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I don't know. Yeah, we're just not hiring right now. I was like, okay, well, that's kind of weird because she told me to come in. And now you're telling me that you're not hiring anymore. She literally told me yesterday to come in. He's like, look, man, I don't know what to tell you. We're not hiring. I was like, okay. I was like, it's like, is there an application I can like fill out? It's like an application for a busboy. It's like, like, can you subconsciously keep yourself alive by breathing and pick up dirt? It's like, okay, yeah, you're hired. And so this guy was, so I left and I called my sister because she's the one who told me, Mimi, it's whatever. And I was like, yeah, the guy said not to do. She said, that's weird. And then I didn't like follow up or anything. And it turns out that day, that guy had stolen his aunt, the company credit card, bought a Jeep with it, and then skipped town to never be seen again. So then, I told my sister. She's like, "No, that's weird." And I was like, "I don't know." And so, like, when next time she was in there and she saw Mimi, she said, "Oh," and she's like, "Oh yeah, that fucker stole our credit card, and bought a car with it." And so yeah, and then I got the job, and so like at 15 years old, and I was glad that I was working in like the restaurant business because it is like eye-opening to like not only have to deal with like people, but then like the people that work in a restaurant. And like the first day I had this like just like this stoner burnout guy who was the full-time busboy, and he was like schooling me on everything.
Schooling me on busboy stuff. Here's how to pick up the plates, dude. This is the way we pick them up with our hands, like this.
Yeah, and he's like it's like here's so the bar bathrooms, like you gotta wash the walls here because you got a lot of joints coming here and they pee on the wall. And he's like, and then we go and he's like, you wouldn't think it, but the women's restroom is 10 times more disgusting than the men's. I was like, how? And he's like, women have their menses and they have sanitary napkins. I was like, oh my god, what is that talking about? This is ridiculous. And so, and it was true. It was like, I hated cleaning the women's restroom. So we were there, whatever. My first week there, this guy had like a video camera. I don't know why he had a video camera. He was like from the Philippines or Micronesia, wherever. Like all the people in Japanese steakhouses are pretty much like Polynesian, Hawaiian. They're not actually Japanese, but they like can pass as Pacific Islanders. And so this guy was like making a film to like send back to like his legitimate family, like in somewhere in the middle of the ocean. And so, but then like it was like after hours or something, he was like trying to get girls like the waitresses like show him titties, and then. That was I saw my first boob in the back of a restaurant. It was just one boob. He was pestering them, and then something, and she was just like, meh, and then like just very uninterested, like okay, whatever, just to get you away from me. She's like, lift up for sure, like one titty plopped out, and I was like 10 feet from it. I was like looking, I was like, oh my god, that's a titty, that's a real life titty. That's what a titty looks like in real life in 3D. Like I can see it, like that's crazy. So I was very happy, and then so after my first week, then they took me to the bar. I'm like 15, and they're like ordering me shots, and they're like getting me drunk.
They're gonna kill you.
And yeah, they're like, and like it was great and awful. It's like, you guys know I'm 15, like just willingly. The bartender and everyone is like, yeah, let's just give him alcohol because of course he has to drive home on his learner's permit. And so I got done the first week or whatever, and I was cleaning the women's bathroom, and Mimi, she's just kind of hot, middle-aged Asian lady. She came in. I was like bent over, like on my hands and knees, scrubbing this woman's toilet, and she slaps me on the butt, right? And she's like, "Good job." And I was like, like I've got these gigantic kitchen, yellow custodial gloves or whatever, and like I'm like bent over. I was like, this is like the reverse of every porno starts. It's like, I do not want to be in here being sexually harassed by the owner of my first week. And so it was pretty awful. Like, it was good pocket money. You got tip outs, and so I had like money for gas and things like that. But it was pretty terrible because we'd come out, and like I remember this one time, this guy dropped, like, I guess he was trying to be funny, or he did something. He dropped his glass on like the hot cooking surface out there, and so it shattered. So there's like glass on that, and it had already been preheated. So like all the water steaming up, whatever. I'm trying to get this glass off. So I have like two like rags. I'm trying to get this off, and like the steam from the water is like, and then it's like burning my hand. I'm like, I was like, oh shit, whatever, and like, cause it burned me, and the guy's like, oh, watch yourself, and I was like, how about you not drop a fucking glass on the cooktop? That was my second week there, and so I got in trouble for that. But it's just like, this asshole does it, drops it, and then like wants to be Mr. Yuck Yuck, make a comment. It's like, dude, you're 45 years old. How could you possibly have dropped a glass onto this and it shattered? Like, you must be the biggest idiot in the world.
You're a 45-year-old idiot, is what you are.
But I had to like clean up the parking lot. But I used to do, I'd have my little broom and my little sweeper can or whatever. But then I found like an empty dip can, and so I would just go out there for like an hour when I was supposed to be cleaning up cigarette butts and stuff, and I would just play like broom hockey with this with this dip can, and that was how I passed most of the time.
Yeah, I guess you could. Well, it's fucked up that they made you clean the parking lot. I don't know what fucking kind of area you're from. That's whack. Usually we just let weather clean our parking lots here. Let God blow his wind all over it, and whatever he takes, and that's meant to be. If I had to clean a parking lot, I'd lose my fucking mind. There was a second part to that comment, and I totally forgot it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, you did say first, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
I worked at Hollister the summer after I graduated high school.
Oh, you worked in retail at Hollister?
Oh, it was awful, but it wasn't like interacting with everyone that worked there was pretty terrible because they all just had really high opinions of themselves, which was fine. But have you guys ever worked somewhere with like call-in shifts?
Yeah, okay. I've heard of that. I don't know what that is though.
So basically, you'll get your schedule every week, and there'll be some like hard scheduled times where it's like you're going to be here, and then there's others that are call-in, and what you have to do is block out that time to not be doing anything fun, and then call in an hour ahead of that, and you just ask them if they need you. So there's a very real chance that you're never going to get called in, and for most of the summer, every time I called in, they were like, "Yeah, we're not that busy. I don't think we need you." Every time. Towards the end of the summer, rewind. Right after I graduated high school, like the day of my high school graduation, I moved out of my mom's house, just because I was an idiot and thought I was ready to live on my own. But I was living with like two.
I got a good job at Hollister, Mom.
Hey, Mom, my career in here.
My career is going places. Okay, I'm at the entry level right now. Fortune 500 CEO, 10 years.
I'm making $8 an hour before taxes, Mom, so I don't need your fucking house anymore.
I didn't even have the job yet. I literally had my graduation money, like the money that I had gotten from friends and family for graduation. That was all I had to my name. I was like, yeah, time to strike out on my own. But luckily,
that's very unwise.
Luckily, one of the guys I was living with got me the job there. But it was 3 or 4 18-year-old kids living in a house by themselves. So there was like 20, 30 people there just every night. And one day I had a call-in shift. It was from like 5 to 10, I think. So I had to call in at 4. I called in at 4, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna need you to come in. And I was like, okay. Well, as soon as I hung up, I wasn't there. I was never going. Like, it was never gonna happen. So my buddy showed up a few minutes after, and I was like, hey, Ryan, in like a half hour, I need you to call my boss and like make up some story about how I have food poisoning and that I'm just like puking. And he's like, all right, I got it. Well, then he went upstairs, and I forgot about it. I was like, okay, it's taken care of. He came back downstairs about a half hour later, and I don't know that I've ever seen a human being higher. Like, he was just gone, but he was my only option. And he came down the stairs, and he looked at me. I looked at him, and he goes, oh shit, man, I forgot. And I was like, can you do it, or do I need to go to work? And he's like, no, man, I can pull this off. He walked in the other room, came back out 5 minutes later, and was like, all right, it's taken care of. And I never asked any questions. I quit the job when I was when I started school, which was just like 2 months later. I only lived in this house for like 3 months. It was just the summer. But I was at Hollister one day while I was in college, and I saw my old boss. And he was like, hey, man, you doing okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like being weird. And he goes, yeah, you had us all really scared when you started having like those epileptic seizures.
Oh my god.
I called Ryan and I was like, hey, I never asked, what'd you tell my boss? And he was like, that you were in the hospital and that we had just like found you passed out and that we thought you were dead and that you hadn't been drinking, so we had no idea what was wrong. I was like, all right.
Yo, that kid's awesome. I want to meet this guy. I mean, like, to be stupid enough to make that lie, I really respect that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he didn't try to like be safe with it at all. He didn't try to go the safe route. He was like, yeah, I mean, Jacob might have cancer. It's tough to tell. This could be the end. So he won't be there
It's
today.
too early right now, man. I know as much as you do. All right, I don't know.
We found our friend dead on the ground. And the first thing I wanted to do was call his boss at his shitty minimum wage
I
job.
remember all he had talked about since I got here was that he had to work tonight and how excited he was about it. And then I find him dead, and I was like, I gotta call work.
It's obvious from the way he fell that he was on his way to work, but he's not going to... Oh, Jesus. That's the worst lie I've ever heard. I've called out of work for some really stupid reasons before, like, yeah, just making up a bunch of shit. Usually it's food poisoning and puking. Like, I think we've all talked about this before, maybe on Twitter, like the forcing yourself to puke at work thing. Yeah, I've done the fingers in the throat in the work bathroom thing. I'm not ashamed of that. I'll puke up anything to get out of the work shift. I was just thinking about another job that. Oh yeah, all right. So I worked at in high school and into the beginning of college a little bit. I worked at this. There's a florist near me. They have a couple stores, but they have really big warehouses and greenhouses like a mile from my house. So I worked there because new family friends that owned the place, and I don't know, they gave a high school kid a job. I was like, whatever. But the best part of the job, so I get there and it's like, I was like, flowers. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know. Like, little did I realize that flowers come in huge boxes and glass vases come in huge boxes. There'd be a lot of heavy lifting, so that was fun. But the best part of the job was like if anything is wrong with a flower, like even a little bit, they wouldn't use it. So I would get these like $200 arrangements to bring home to like my mom and sister and girlfriends. So that was great, scored me a lot of points. But the other good part was that if a vase had even a tiny crack, I'm not talking like a little one. I mean, like, even if like a fucking 4-foot like trumpet vase had a little crack in it, they're not going to use it. And so that means I get to throw it out, and by throw out I mean smash it. So we would just stack the stuff up like all day, or if we weren't getting a lot, we'd let it go for a few days. And then we'd have like, just these glass breaking fests into the dumpster, but the dumpster door was only probably like 3 feet by 3 feet, so like if you're launching some shit from like a few feet back, you can miss, and then the glass comes right back at you. And we did have a lot of events there. So like there were some people, like I was working full time, but there's some people that would only come for events, and you didn't really know those guys. Like they were weird. They were the event guys, like burnouts. And one time we were doing the glass throwing thing, and one of these guys got fucking glass in his eye. Like we rocketed a big vase at the dumpster. It hit the corner of the dumpster and kind of just shattered and bounced all over the place. Hits this dude in the eye who wasn't even throwing it. He gets so mad, he just gets in his car and leaves. He didn't clock out or anything. I think he probably went right to the hospital because, like, I think it was, there was a piece of glass in his eye. But, yeah, I was actually just at 7-Eleven today, and I saw my boss from that job. I haven't worked there in fucking, like, 6 or 8 years. He was like, Tommy! I was like, hey, Tom, how you doing? He was like, breaking glass. I was like, okay. Well, his name was Tom also. We got along really well.
And in college, I got a job at Best Buy, mainly for the discount. But I liked electronics and whatnot, but I was like so psyched to get this job. I was like making like $8.25 an hour, and I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. And it sucked so terribly. The one that I worked at, I went to school at Winthrop University, which is in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So this Best Buy is like the tiniest thing ever. Like we didn't have appliances. Like the car audio and like the home audio, like surround sound stuff is like all jammed together. So you like had to know all this and stuff, and so you had a lot of like redneck people that came in, but you also had like a lot of just like uppity, like rich people that lived in nearby in Fort Mill that worked in Charlotte, and they would come in, and I remember you have to walk around all day, and it's like I really don't care because like you don't make commission, you don't really get raises. Like, oh man, wow, you sold all these TVs or whatever. Like here's some more money. Like it doesn't work like that. It's just like you're just there, and you just kind of dissed. And so I remember one day, like you kind of you grow, just like with any job though, you just like you kind of tolerate it, and you're like, I want to do good at this, and you just start going, I really do not give a shit about this. Like a lot of you realize that most people, a majority of people, are cowards, and they're not just going to fire you because it's like it takes a lot to like. If I fire you, then I got to find somebody else that can. I got to hire somebody else that can like fill the time, work the times you were, and it's just like not a headache. So you can like really be just a shitty person. I remember I was helping this couple, and it would be like the guy that would come in with like dip in his cheek, like chewing tobacco, dirt on his fingernails, just wearing overalls. It would come in and then be like buy the most expensive TV and sound system and like bring out $12,000 in cash and like pay with it. And like the guy that comes in like like suit looking real good, pulls up in the Lexus outside is like the one that's gonna haggle you over like the $50 on some TV. So this is what it was, is this couple. And I was like showing them stuff, and they like really started up here, like, oh yeah, let me see those, and then we like just kind of kept working on it. And I was like, oh my god, we're like getting down into here to these like smaller TVs, and so they wanted this open box TV, and like at that point I was like, I just don't want to help you guys anymore. If I could like just turn around and walk away and not be yelled at, like I would. It's what I want to do. So this is fucking open item TV, like it's like some like Element. Or like a Haizu. It's like some name brand you've never heard of in your life. And he's like, so what? He's like, so what can you? What about this price here? I was like, well, it's it's already marked off 20% off. It's a open item. It was a return. So it's fine. Like it hasn't been a display. Like that's a pretty good price. Like, well, what can you do for me on the price? And I was like, it's already marked down 20%, man. And he was like, so you can't. What can you do for me on this price? I was like, I can point at it. It's like it's right there. That's what it is. And his wife pipes up. She's like, you obviously aren't a manager, are you? And I was like, no, I'm not. I am a lowly peon. But if you'd like for me to go get my manager so he can come over and point at that price, I would be more than willing to. They're like, let me see your manager. And they came over there, and I was just like, and the guy, and I was like fully expecting to get yelled at or whatever afterwards. But then he came back, he's like, yo, that lady's a bitch. And I was like, they buy anything? He's like, no, I told him to leave. Like, we're not gonna sell them to you. They left. It's like, fuck you guys.
Dude, it's the best when you have a boss that will like stand up for you in those situations. Like, I don't know, I've had bosses that I felt like have been with me and bosses that have been against me, and like depending on how stressful your job is, that can make all the difference. Like, started working at this restaurant few summers ago. This was like 5 years ago, and wanted to be a waiter. I had never waited tables before. Like I worked in food establishments, like I'd done catering and like I'd been a dishwasher and like a prep cook and stuff like that, but I never really worked in like an official restaurant. So I went in and I told the lady, I saw they were hiring, and I just tried to seem like a good candidate for the job, and she like hired me on the spot to be a waiter. And she was like, are you sure you don't want to be a busboy? You've never done this. And I was like, I'll be fine. It's easy. All you do is take the order, put it in the fucking computer. How hard can that be? Well, this restaurant is busy as hell and really nice, and everyone there was really good at waiting tables except for me. And like, but it was cool because like I worked with people who were my close friends, and the people that worked there were really fun, but I was just terrible at this job, and the manager scared the shit out of me. Like, this lady was really stern and terrifying. Like, I feared her the way that I think people fear their fathers when their fathers are very intimidating. Like, I have a really nice dad, and he's like super chill, and we get along great. But sometimes, like the dad on the Wonder Years. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen that. Like the way I felt about this boss lady was like the dad on the Wonder Years. Like, if she was near me, I didn't make any sudden movements. I tried not to say anything stupid, because then she'd just glare at me, and it'd be like the get the fuck out of my room glare. So anyway, yeah. These people come in one night. I'm not good at waiting tables, and I was like just getting high all the time, and I couldn't fucking remember people's orders. Like, I'd go into work really high, and then like by the end of work, I'd finally start feeling normal, but it was like too late to do anything, so it didn't matter. So I'd be making mistakes here and there, but I had this one lady come in, and everybody warned me about her. Like, she would just fuck with you just to fuck with you. Like, she's obviously a crazy person, but she has enough money to go out and eat every night. So she would do this shit where like she'd order a bottle of, or a glass of wine. The bartender would fill the wine, not me. I would just order it, bring it to her, and she would like look at the level of it, like pick up the glass and hold it and be like, no, and send it back. If it was too much or too little, she didn't like too much or too little. Like, sorry, you got too much alcohol for not enough price. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. So she was jerking me around one night really bad, and I I was really stressed out and I was really high, so like I couldn't tell really what was happening, and I was probably ignoring some other tables. That would always happen. I would just forget about tables. Like if I had a table in this section and one in that section, I'd forget about that one, and I'd only do this one, and someone else would take it over. People covered for me. They were nice, but this lady was fucking with me really bad, and I didn't know what to do. My manager comes up to me, and I see her watching it, and I thought she was just gonna freak out on me. Instead, she like brings me over to the table, talks with this lady about what she's doing, freaks out on the lady, takes her food, like gets her arm and pushes the lady's food away from her, and is like, "You can get the fuck out of this restaurant and never come back." And I was like, "Oh my god, yes, fuck yeah, all right, we're on the same team now." And so she stood up for me really big. It was super huge. I probably looked like a moron because I was like nervous and sweaty and high and uncomfortable, and there's like women yelling at each other, and I don't know what's happening, and I'm at work. But yeah, that was a really fun experience. I spent the rest of the summer there, and then I did that thing where like you don't come in for a day, and then like another day you just like one day I called out, and then I didn't show up the next shift, and then they called me, and I was like, "Oh right, work, shit. You know, are you gonna come in?" I was like, "No, I think I'm done working there. I don't think I'm gonna come back." Like that's the way.
I've seen what life can be. Not there. Not doing that, and I want to not do that.
Yeah. Like, there are some jobs that I've gotten to the point where like I've quit like that. Even with like I'm running out of money, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather be poor and not work for you than do what I was doing before. So this is it. You know, good riddance.
Dude, when I worked at Staples, they wanted me to come in for Black Friday. Like I hated the job. My first month there, I was employee of the month. So from there on, I was like, well, I'm not doing shit the rest of the time I'm here, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they did that just to like flatter you? How did they have enough to know that you were the employee of the month if you were new?
Well, I took over like the easy tech stuff and like was just doing that stuff, and I really just kind of got to hide out by myself because I got them to give me a desk that was like away from the actual sales floor, so I didn't have to interact with customers. Like I just sat back there and ate combos and worked on computers. It was really a good job. I should have appreciated it. Like it was pretty great. But they asked me to come in on Black Friday, and that was kind of the end. And as soon as the manager told me, she was like, "Hey, everyone here has to work Black Friday, and you're either going to work 3 to noon, or you're going to work like it was like 11 to 9 or something." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not." And she was like, "Oh no, everyone does it. We're going to have everyone here scheduled. We do like more business on this day than any other day. Like everyone's here." And I was like, "I'm really not coming in."
Who's leaving their family? Staples. It's like, man, I've been wanting to buy a printer all year.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait because I know those deals are gonna be fucking insane.
Kohl's was open 24 hours like the week leading up to Christmas this year. Who goes to Kohl's at 2 in the morning?
pieces of shit go to Kohl's at 2 in the morning. Dude, every time I walk into Staples, I get the feeling that everything's free. Like I could just take shit and leave. They're always like it's always so disheveled. Like every time you walk in there, it seems like because like nobody working in retail wants to be there. Like everybody hates it, but sometimes people like respect it enough to just suck it up and do it. But when I walk into Staples, I swear to God, people are like, "Yo, take that. Don't even check out." Like,
I went to the the Office Max up here. It was one of the first places I went when I got up here, just to look around. And like most places that I'll go, I get annoyed because there's always employees around asking if you need help, asking if you need anything, like to the point that it's obnoxious. This was the first time that I was ever like, I was in there for like 10 minutes and I was, wait, is anyone working today? And like I just kind of walked out of the aisle and was looking around to see if I was the only person in Office Max. Like there was, I saw like 3 people, 2 were at a register, and then 1 dude was just kind of like standing in a corner.
you look down and the keys to the door are hanging on your pocket, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I have a manager name tag on all of a sudden.
Oh Christ, that's my worst nightmare. Working.
But Staples. So she scheduled me, and like I told her several times, like, I'm not coming. Like I'm really not. And then nothing was said about it the week leading up to Thanksgiving. And then I'm supposed to be there at 3 in the morning on Black Friday, and I get that call at like 3:15, and I wake up, and I just kind of looked at my phone. I answered it, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they were like, you're scheduled this morning. I was like, yeah. Are you coming in? And I was like, no. It is 3 a.m. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And
I saw how you wrote my name on the schedule, and I thought that was cute, but also
we talked about this. Like, I want to feel bad that I'm bailing on the team, but like I did tell you, you should have planned better because I kind of made this clear.
Dude, you're such a piece of shit to be a retail manager like that. Oh God.
And then I kind of quit. Like I skipped my next 2 or 3 shifts I think after that because I just didn't want to deal with her. And then she like begged me to come in and talk to her because I was like the only person that they had there that was doing anything with computers. So I was like, okay, what do you need? And she's like, come back. I know you've been like, because I was working like 30 hours a week while going to school, which I know isn't a huge deal to a lot of people, but it was really tough for me. And because I was like failing out of school, I wasn't going to class, which was part of it, but this was enough of an excuse that I could say like, yeah, no, it's because I'm working. She was like, we'll cut your schedule down to 1 day a week. You can just work Saturdays, blah blah blah. So I ended up doing that, and then they started like scheduling me for day like I don't remember what it was. It was like a holiday that wasn't really a holiday. Maybe it was President's Day.
Arbor Day?
Yeah.
She scheduled me for President's Day, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And she goes, oh, well, your name's on the schedule. And I was like, yeah, but we pretty much agreed that wasn't going to be a thing again. She was like, well, you're going to be here. And, like, I didn't go. And then the next time I was there, she was like, so do you want to work here anymore? I was like, no, I haven't wanted to work here at all. I just felt bad because you guys needed help.
I honestly didn't think I worked here anymore. I thought...
And so that was the end of my time at Staples.
I got a so kind of going back what you're talking about is like you have managers that like mean well or like like that really is what makes the difference, right? Like even if you're like in a shitty like I don't care about this job, like if you have like a manager that's like kind of cool with you and like is just a cool person, like you'll care a little bit, you know what I mean? Like you just won't be just off your rocker like I'm just gonna lay down on the floor, and let customers walk over me like I'm a child or whatever, like just protest. And so I had the job that I had before the one I had here was like kind of I guess like my first like big boy job I suppose. It's in like an ad agency. We dealt explicitly in the automotive industry, so all of our clients were car dealerships. The guy who owned it was a psychopath. Had bipolar disorder. He was a Marine. He was the biggest dipshit ever. But so it's almost like if you ever read Freakonomics, where there's like this thing where there's a daycare and like you had to pick your kids up by like 5 o'clock. And and then like parents, if they were late, I forget what it was, but like they didn't have a punishment. But they were like, okay, well now if you're 10 minutes late, then we're gonna charge you $30 or whatever it is. And then thinking like, oh, then if parents like can pay, if they have to pay, then they'll be like, oh, I'm definitely gonna be there like on time. But then it turned out that like more people just left their kids later because then they like rationalized like, well, I'm paying for it, so like I don't feel bad, like inherently bad about it because I'm having to pay for it. And so like this is what it was. So we had like people were just taking smokers were taking 12 smoke breaks a day, and we didn't have like a set lunch time, and so like anywhere from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock you'd have 20 people out in this infinite lunch hour. And so how it worked is that it was like an assembly line almost. It's like you had the copywriters and then the art, and then it goes to art, then it goes to coding, then it goes to production or whatever. And so you'd have a department out at lunch, and that job sits there, and then when it's ready to go to the next one, those people are out on lunch. And so they were like, okay, from 12 to 1 everyone is going to lunch. I don't care if you're on the phone with a client till 12:15, then you get a 45-minute lunch break. And we're taking 15-minute breaks at 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And it's like, oh my God, you really are going to treat me like a child. And then what ended up happening is that we're all so miserable because number one, you're forcing all of us to talk and be around each other. Now everybody is a coworker free, and we're just milling about with nothing to do together. And so it was terrible at first, but then we started playing Foursquare. The top floor of the building we were in was vacant, and we took this large office room, we taped it up, we started playing Foursquare up there, and just destroyed all the ceiling tiles and markings on the wall and all sorts of stuff. And so, but that guy, he was so he put that in place, and it just kind of backfired. I guess everybody was happier, but then it's clearly I'm not going to do any work between 11 and 12 because if I do, like, what happens if it like takes me to 12:15 because of my lunch break? Like, I'm not doing any work. So then we did less work. And so this guy one time, and this is why I hated this job. This guy was an asshole. So one time something happened, and my manager was out, my manager was out, and then like a higher up guy asked if I could help another department, and something and whatever. So I ended up like falling behind in my work because I was helping another department out. And so the boss brings us in, and there's like the VP guy who is the one who asked me to help. My manager, and then the other manager of the department I helped. And so he comes in there. He has no clue, no idea anything. He just comes in. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And then my boss, who's a Marine, a bipolar Marine, just goes, "Shut the fuck up, Tim," and kicks the door shut. This guy just comes in. He has no clue like what this is about. He's just like, "Hey, can you come down here, Tim?" And so Tim just comes in. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" I go, "Shut the fuck up, Tim." He kicks the door shut. He kicks it so hard the lock breaks. Okay. And so then he's like yelling at Tim and whatever. And Tim's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like, I had no clue that he didn't have, like, you know, Daryl said that he could help out, so I let him help out. You know, I didn't, whatever. And so then he's like, "Just get the fuck out of here, Tim." It's like, and Tim is just so, he's like, "It's not my fault." Like, he's just yelling. So Tim gets up, and because the door was, like, the lock had broken, he couldn't open the door. So Tim, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, Tim." And he's like, he goes, he's just standing there, and it's like about 15 seconds, and he's like, "Oh, I feel like Bush in China." And no one started. We're just standing there like, "You got to be kidding me, man!" And then he finally like lifts it and like was able to open it up. And but yeah, that was one of like, just that guy was really a shitty person. Like, I've never seen someone lose their shit and like kick a door, like become physically like intimidating and violent in an office environment.
I've never seen any good work meltdowns other than ones that I've caused. And it was a story. This just reminds me because it was the same job where we'd smash the flower vases, which was probably the best job ever. But yeah, so this was the same place where we'd smash the flower vases, and I told this story on Twitter, so I'll just be quick with it. We used to throw each other's lunches in the trash instead of eating them. Like, we would. The big prank was like, and you can't just take it out of the fridge. Like, you have to wait until someone's preparing their lunch, and then they have to like take a break in the preparation of their lunch, whether it's in the microwave or the oven, or if they just like put their sandwich on the table and they're gonna go take a piss and come back. You gotta take the lunch and you gotta throw it in the fucking trash can, or like throw it outside on the lawn, or just like tear it up and throw half the sandwich that way and half the sandwich that way. And that caused a bunch of people to like lose their fucking minds. Like, I guess it's funny if you're expecting it, but like I can see how it's really insensitive to throw away a meal that someone prepared for themselves. But yeah, we didn't care about that. But another shitty job that I've had, but ended up being the greatest job ever for like the last bit that I was there, because we realized that we didn't have to give a fuck, so we went wild before we both got fired. Me and my buddy, there's a country club near here, and they've got a snack bar at their pool. And I knew the lady who ran the snack bar, so I asked if I could work there, and she said yes. And my other buddy asked, and she said yes to him. And it turns out they only needed 2 people to run the whole snack bar all summer. So we were like all of a sudden had this like power position. Like, if you're at the pool and you're hungry, like, you got to get your food through Tom. And so we were like really responsible with it. It was tough, more work than we thought, and we definitely weren't qualified to do it because like we really hadn't cooked food before. And like I said, like I hadn't really worked in a real restaurant at that point. So anyway, these people made a terrible decision in hiring us. But then so like through the first half of the summer, it was just us. Then she started hiring more people and like taking away some of our days, and that really pissed us off because we were very territorial over our snack bar. Like there was the main menu, and then we were so into it, like we had made up our own recipes. Like there was like an off-menu thing, like you could ask for like a Tom burger, and like I'd make you this crazy shit with like onions and cheese and all that. But like you had to know me, so like we really tried to make it our own. And still, like, we're not members at the country club, so people just look at you like you're a piece of shit, like regardless of whether you're serving them food or not. But toward the end, we realized that like she was kind of edging us out. She hired more people and would take days away from us. And then she cut us both down to 1 day a week, and we were like, all right, dude, this is it. So like all I remember from the last day of work there is like we started drinking because we had friends that worked inside in the clubhouse. And we started drinking gin, just straight gin out of cups at like 10 in the morning when the pool was starting to open. And we got pretty hammered. And I remember putting Twizzlers in the fryer, which like doesn't make sense because it's not breaded, so like it can't fry. Like yeah, it can cook. Like we were just throwing things in. We didn't understand like that things have to be breaded to fry, and then it's cool. Like we were just throwing shit in the fryer, everything. I remember taking burgers and getting them all warmed up, and then just shooting them like a like throwing them at the wall and trying to get them to stick to shit. And that was our last day, and then we had to like scrape down the walls and wash the whole place, and we were just like the fuck out of there. I don't even know if she scheduled me the next week. We just stopped paying attention and never came back.
The first time and only time I've ever worked in food was I worked in the cafeteria at the college that I would eventually go to. And like that was the first time that I knew that I shouldn't go to that college, but I ended up doing it anyway because I was stupid. But there was like two different aspects to it. It was a school of like 2,000, so you just had one like big cafeteria that had like all you can eat. You know, like you could get grilled cheeseburger every day, and then they'd have like one special meal and salad bar, stuff like that. And then downstairs was like the after hours place where you could get like little fried snacks like chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, things like, and you could make you could get smoothies there too. And like so we had like these half-gallon jugs of smoothie mix, and like we would just chug smoothie mix. Like that was our thing to do. It was just to see who could chug the most lemonade smoothie mix. I chugged an entire half-gallon of lemonade smoothie mix, and they let me go home because they were like, it's not gonna be good. So why don't you just go home? We'll pay you for the rest of the time you're here. I was like, all right, awesome. That was like a really proud moment in my life. And the other like where they had the pizza bar, if you're working pizza, you weren't really visible to everyone else there unless like someone was coming up to get pizza or one of the bosses was like sneaking around the back. So like you would just, well, I mean, other employees weren't, but I was just sitting back there eating pizza that I had just made.
You were fucking the pizza is what you're trying.
I mean, if you're gonna give me a secluded room and a pizza, what are you expecting? But there were, and I never learned from my mistakes, so there were probably 5 or 6 times that like I would take this pizza right out of the oven, cut it, grab a slice, take a bite, which I knew was gonna be hot, but like I didn't want it to get too cold, and you had to be kind of careful because if you got caught eating, you were in like big trouble. So, but there were like 5 or 6 times that I would like have this bite in my mouth, and I'd hear someone coming, and I'd shove the whole thing in my mouth, and I'm just like sitting there with my mouth sizzling, like trying not to make eye contact with anyone and not talk to anyone, and like I would go cry as soon as I finished swallowing the piece of pizza. And that was another job that I never really quit. Like every summer I wouldn't work there because I had soccer. So I would come back after soccer season. So then senior year, I was supposed to be playing soccer at Rose, so I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll come back after that. And then I didn't end up playing soccer. And so like my boss saw me like several times. Just like, hey, you know when you're going to be able to work again? I was like, yeah, nope, don't know yet. And this went on all the way through freshman year, and then he just stopped asking. I was like, all right, cool.
It's hard to know when soccer practice is going to be. I just have to all the time. It's tough to say. Yeah, dude, I've never, maybe only one job have I like quit in the right way, like given a couple weeks notice and had another job lined up. I think I only did that one time. Most of the time, it's like you start to get weird with it, like you start to get really distant from work, and like everyone knows something's up, and then you call out a few times, and then like you just straight up skip some days and like don't come, and then when they call, you either don't answer or you call and you're like, oh my god, well, I can't come anyway, so I'm sorry, that's crazy. And then eventually it gets to the point where they're like, it's like the breakup, like you like you make them break up with you, like eventually they get to the point where they're like, look, do you want us to just like let you go? Like, do you want me to lay you off? I don't get it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be great actually. I think I don't want to work anymore. I'm done. Works every fucking time.
I had so that summer that I was working at Hollister, we decided to also try and pick up this job at a factory, And the factory was like 45 minutes from where we lived. There was only one car for everyone that lived at the house. We had one car between all of us, and it was my buddy's like 60. It was like a 64, 65 Mustang. Like, it sounds really nice, but it wasn't like in good shape.
It was like just like it was a Mustang, but really it was just like a 40-year-old car.
Right. So it got like 6 miles a gallon. So just driving to and from this place was gonna be pretty close to what we were making. But the idea was that, like, when we went and signed up, or my uncle had worked at this place when he was in high school, and he was like, yeah, it's really hot there. It's miserable working conditions, but you get in really good shape. So, like, that was all we cared about. That's what we wanted to do. Well, the way it used to be,
yeah, abs, nice.
the way it used to be there, like, you just had to go and apply at this place. Well, they had started using a temp agency, and so we get there, and they direct us, like, 2 miles down the road to the temp agency for all of Paris, Illinois, or whatever.
I'm just picturing like a car full of like 4 like sweaty, scrawny teenage kids are like, hey, you guys got any jobs? And they're like, so for like all of you, are you guys brothers? What is this?
But we signed up, and we told them where we wanted to work, and they're like, okay. And then they called us the next day, and they're like, yeah, we don't have openings there, but we've got openings at the lighting place. And it was just this place that manufactures car headlights. And so we were like, all right, well, that's still like manufacturing or whatever, so maybe it'll be what we're looking for. And we went back, well, when we went to take the drug test, like I said, this house was terrible. The night before, I go downstairs, and the dude that is supposed to be going with me the next day is just like downstairs doing coke. And I was like, you know what tomorrow is, right? And he was like, well, I figured since I had smoked like earlier this week, it was pretty much a lost cause anyway. So like, you can just like pee in a condom for me when we get close. And I was like, all right, fine. We did that. It ended up being like an oral swab. So he took the oral swab and like did all the like temp agency's training with like a condom taped to his leg full of my pee. And like, I'm just sitting there trying not to laugh the entire time. But we end up getting the job. We go there for one day, and it's like this air-conditioned facility, and all we're doing is polishing headlights. So like, they just come out, you look at them, and you take a little cloth, and you're like, did that for 8 hours straight, never went back. The next day, I woke up, and I was still planning on going back. And Jordan goes, hey, yeah, I'm not doing that again. And I was like, all right, fine. Well, can I borrow your car? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And I got halfway there, and I just turned around. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again either. That was terrible.
Yeah, the long drive to work leaves you way too much time to be like, should I really fucking do this? Like, I could turn around right now.
I know that, Jacob, you have a new job. Maybe you haven't been there long enough to know whether or not you hate it or like it. I've recently started liking my job again. And Tom, I think that I'm fairly confident you are homeless and a burden on society. You pull free money from Obamacare. I think that's what you just get on the train and harass a ticket taker all day.
Yeah, I bounce around pretty much. I can't tell you where to find me as far as work or school goes. I'm around.
Yeah, just around. But yeah, like looking forward to 2015, like I'm kind of optimistic because I went from my last job, like drinking occasionally, frequently on my lunch break in an underground parking garage, to like drinking in a Mexican restaurant across the street from my job, which is a little more highbrow. It's acceptable. And taking a late lunch, it's within happy hour. You get the deals. It's just I'm just being economical, really. And so like actually like actively enjoying my job. And so like I want to get you guys' opinions on what you think 2015, not only for yourself, your personal brand. Yeah, 1 second. And like what you think for yourself is going to be for 2015, like how you think it's going to go for you, your personal brand. And Tom, I need you to talk about Tim Bro Dude completely coming through and like just swiping your whole swag and leaving you passed out on the internet like certain deleted sexual Jumanji pic of lore. And so Jacob, if you want to start, like what's up with you, and what do you think for 2015 is going on?
So yeah, I just moved. I'd lived in Terre Haute my entire life. So this month of living in South Bend was the first time in my whole life that I haven't lived in Terre Haute. I mean, I went to college in Terre Haute. So my first 2 jobs afterwards were there. So I'm in a new city, liking it so far. As far as I can tell, I'm gonna love my job. It's really fast paced. The only thing that sucks about that is it makes it tough to tweet sometimes. And like I'm in this will probably terrify you guys. I'm in operating rooms a lot, and I feel bad whenever I bring my phone out because I was like, there's a person in here, and they're they're just like their blood is everywhere. And, like it just doesn't seem appropriate to have my phone out while they're like putting their life in the hands of the doctor. Like sometimes you gotta get a tweet off, and that's just how it is.
That's the life. That's the life.
I think 2015 is gonna be good. It's I mentioned last show. This is the first time that I'm like pretty excited about where I'm working. I'm pretty excited about the general direction things are going. Like I'm enjoying things. I'm worried that I'm legitimately worried that my tweets are going to suffer. I'm sure that I don't know. 2015, I think it's going to be weird for Oh Holy Bud as far as those things go. But I've still tweeted plenty since I started, I think. So we'll see. I haven't had
tweeted a few times. You've tweeted a little bit.
Once or twice. It's the one thing when I started doing the stuff for Every Day Should Be Saturday. I had a few when I started out that seemed like everybody really liked, and then I just didn't have any ideas after that. So that was like a really frustrating thing for me because I was really excited about it, and then I was just like, I don't have I'm like maybe a 3-trick pony at best, and I used all 3 of them, and then I was like, well, shit, what do I do now? I don't know. Hopefully something presents itself. I'm enjoying doing this. I think Sharp All Right. Do you know him, Tom?
Dan Smith, he's fucking awesome. I haven't met him in real life. He lives like 15 minutes from my house, but we haven't met.
Oh, nice. Yeah. He and I talked about we're gonna do something similar to this, but during the IU Penn State game, just like doing live commentary on that and just dicking around. And I had mentioned something like that to Mish before as well, just live streaming commentary, and we'll see if there's something there. I think it could be fun, but for me personally, I think for the first time in my adult life, I'm gonna try and do a good job at my job, and see if I can turn that into something, because this is a really cool job and something that I really enjoy. So I'm hoping it becomes something of a career.
That's awesome, dude. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're happy.
Thank you. What about you?
Me? Oh, okay. All right. Well, here we go. All right. So, as far as brands go, I had a pretty rough week. I don't know who saw, but all right. So I think it was Monday. I'm at work. I'm on the computer, chilling, getting work done, and then I log on Twitter and I see that the Twitter user, I believe he is. I didn't even know who he was before. He was following me. Yeah, at DSHOOV, at DSHOOV. So this dude, he tweets something at me with the handle at TimBroDude in it, not mine. And I was like, well, he brought it up. He showed me that TimBroDude existed, and I was like, all right, that's not that hard to believe. I thought I had searched that before, but I hadn't seen it. I didn't want that handle. My name's Tom. I don't fucking care about Tim. Anyway, so apparently, yes, some dude named Tim Mendoza started a Twitter 5 years ago, in the summer of 2009. Yeah, I also have this problem where I always think it's 2012. I think I got brain damage in 2012. No matter what happens, I always think it's 2012. But anyway, so it starts off as this little thing, and I was like, oh, that's funny, TimBroDude, TomBroDude. I guess we can have a little rivalry. He had 3 tweets 5 years ago. And then all of a sudden I see everybody else ganging up on it. You boys with all your followers, and then some even larger accounts who I spent years trying to cultivate a relationship with just are instantly yeah, let's fuck with this dude. So I'm on TweetDeck, so I can see the activity that's going on. I see again and again and again people, friends of mine, following this Tim Brodude account and then retweeting his 3 tweets. One of which says tacos with an exclamation point, or no, with an apostrophe, like like it's the possessive of I don't even know. And another one says chillin', and then the other one is about how he doesn't understand it and he needs info for the website, Twitter. But anyway, it got out of control, and like people that like I had put a lot of trust in just like completely flipped the script on me, and it got way bigger than I thought. This fucking random account. I hope this dude still has his email, because like he got almost 200 followers. All the tweets got like almost 100 retweets. I didn't even have anything that got 100 retweets that day. Like, what the fuck is that? So this guy really fucked my shit up. It was really upsetting. But anyway, tweet my predictions for 2015. Sorry, I just had to get that out. It was a rough week.
Yeah, I want it to be known that I never fucked with Tim Brodude. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm with Tom. I'm gonna ride to the end with Tom. And I don't care if it's Tim, Jim Bro Dude. I don't care if it's Mom Bro Dude. I don't care what it is. Like, I'm with Tom, and I'll fucking kill you if you're a Bro Dude and you're trying to encroach on someone's expertly curated brand. Like, if you're just coming through and like trying to be this little succubus that tries to get some shine off somebody else, like, fuck you. Like, I will kill that guy. I'll kill him and all of his and all of his all of the tacos that he owns, or the stuff that his tacos own, since they're possessive. I'll fuck him and his tacos up like it's nothing. Like, I'll come through and fuck that guy up.
Honestly, I hope that dude's dead. Like, I hope Tim Mendoza's dead. I mean, I don't hope that he left a family behind. I don't want anyone else to get hurt in this situation. But as far as just me and Tim goes, like, that's some real shit right there. That's my enemy.
I just went through and unfollowed the 15 people that followed Tim Brodude. So
yeah. If you're watching this or listening to this and you support that Tim Brodude shit, I'll kill you. No, but please don't unfollow me, and please unfollow Tim. I need your support and your love really badly.
Dude, what I love about that is that I think chillin' is like usually one of the first 10 tweets that someone sends, and it reminded me. I didn't bring this up, but I'll bring it up now. Is that like 2 years ago, or whatever? Like, there's like an annual like Black Twitter bracket thing, and when they put it together, there's like Dragonfly Jones, Jonez, and that guy has tens of thousands of followers or whatever. But when they put it in the bracket, it was Dragonfly Jones. Somebody just misspelled it and put it with an S, and then like it turns out it was like the Tim Brodude thing, where it's like this guy had only 3 tweets, and like the first one of them is like chillin' or whatever the case is, and so it was kind of like the similar thing where it's like all these people like, and so like. So like when people were in this Twitter bracket, they're like voting for people. They're like going to this guy who had like 17 followers and just had 3 tweets. So like one of them was like chill, and then it's like Asamuga will always be a Raider in the best corner ever, and then like something else. And it's just like I love finding that kind of stuff. But yeah, dude, fuck that. There's a dude like because sometimes I'm like, yo, I don't want to see all the subtweets, and then sometimes I'm like, I do want to see the subtweets. So I search for my name, but then there's like a guy who's like has like boss, and he has that like boss in his like Twitter handle, and like so like half of the stuff is just this guy's tweets, and like I've like blocked him, like muted him, like I just want to not see that guy's tweets when I want to find my own subtweets.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. The guy came along and just destroyed my brand. I had a great year, and then like the last 3 days of the year, this shit happens. But so in 2015, that's the year we're entering, right? Shit. Dude, that seems like a year that should be way in the future. I'm pretty sure it's not 2015. That seems fucked. I don't think that's fucked. I remember when it was 1998 and my friend made his screen name with 06 in it, and we were laughing about how far away 2006 was. I was like, dude, we'll probably be flying in 2006. I don't mean in flying cars. I mean we'll have wings somehow. For 2015, I'm hoping to die, and I'd like to make some money and tweet a lot. And if I could die at any point, that'd be so great. That'd be really good. I don't really have a lot of hopes and dreams for 2015. I had a really great 2014. So I'm out. I mean, whatever happens from here, I peaked. I think I'm good.
That's good, man. 2014 for me was pretty. It was like the happiest and most miserable I've ever been, and also like the busiest. Like I went out and covered. Like I spoke out at South by Southwest, and I went back and covered it for Complex, and then did like the video stuff for them, and I wrote a bunch and all this and that. And it was like just really busy, and so I made a lot of extra nice money. But then like the real job, I don't know, man. It's like playing that seesaw. It was like I was so miserable doing this, and then I like wrote a lot and slacked off at the normal job, and then invested more in like freelance stuff, and then like I got a lot of good opportunities there. But then at the end of the year, it's our busy season, so then I can't do any of that, and I like invested in work, and then work gave me like a raise and all this and that. And it's like you're just playing in between these two circles. And it's like you've got one foot in either one. It's like, well, what if you put both of them in one? Like, if I'm at this level doing half and half, like, what if I just did all this or just did all this? And it's like, it's hitting me with like Twitter. It's like, and writing. I'm like, I'm done probably like with writing internet articles, or like, I don't even really want to tweet anymore. I've been on here a while, and I've like, it's fun and it's not fun. Like, I just want to just be esoteric and have like my Twitter e-circle or whatever the case is, and then you just have all these like just idiots and whatnot that like I don't give a shit about, telling me what to tweet, what not to tweet, or this and that. I'm just like, this just isn't fun anymore. Like, so I don't know. So 2015, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm gonna invest more in like trying to write a book, finish the book that I've been writing, and then write another one, do some other stuff. I don't know. So that's what I'm hoping for in 2015, but I don't, I still want to tweet because I love tweets. But I will tell you guys this: I'm going to say this because I don't think the guy's watching this, and I won't name him, but I got a job writing tweets for somebody. Like, somebody pays me to write their tweets.
Yo,
that's awesome.
So I had gotten paid from this gentleman before writing rap lyrics for him. And so I did that a couple times. Like, I wrote a couple of verses and got paid for them. And this was like, last year, 2 years ago, something like that. And then I'm just kind of out of nowhere, he hit me up and he's like, yo, you want to do social media management for me? And I was like, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? Like, do you have like a bunch of different brands or a company, or like, what do you need me to do? Like, community management? And he's like, oh no, he's like, I just, I don't get on Twitter that often, and like, I want it to be, a constant source of of tweets, like to have like constant content there or whatever. And so I make an extra $750 a month tweeting.
Holy shit!
Oh my God, I'm gonna go downstairs and kill myself right now.
Yeah, it is a dream come true. I will tell you that, because it's like, it's like I can just, it's like it just gives me the freedom. It's like, I don't care, man. Like, be as weird or creepy or corny or whatever you want to do. Like, I don't care. Just like, as long as it's a constant stream of stuff and whatever, it's good. So I definitely like it seems like I've like fallen into all these opportunities. Like, I know I've worked hard and stuff, and I've done a lot of tweeting, right? And so, but then like, you get like this opportunity here or whatever, and you're like, okay, like, I don't know if I really deserve this, but it's like, of course I do. Like, I've sent like over 120,000 tweets. Like, I've wasted a fair amount of my life and neglected my child numerous times, so it's like, I guess I should be getting paid for it. So I'm excited about that. So I'm hoping that I can keep that in 2015. But yeah, I don't know, man. I like, work's been going okay, and I liked being good at it. And then Twitter's just increasingly, like, I follow a lot of people because I like knowing what's going on. And I realized a long time ago, like, my strategy with Twitter has changed from when I was, before. It's like, if you invest yourself in the timeline, what the timeline's talking about, what's in the moment, like, you can capture a ton of followers and be that and do the jokes of, like, what it is. And it's like, I don't want to do that, because you have to be on Twitter all the time, knowing what it is and, like, trying to be a part, and then trying to be louder than everyone else doing it. And it's just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to talk about what I want to talk about and be oblivious when I want to be oblivious. It's like, but I don't know, I've just like kind of changed, but I think I'm going to just completely switch it up, and I'm only going to do manual retweets in 2015, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to completely change how I do tweeting and then see how it happens, see like what it does.
I've really, my Twitter strategy's changed a lot. I've only been using Twitter for just over 2 years, and I didn't even use it for the first year. So 2014 was really big for me in getting connected with people. Like, it was really awesome getting to know you guys and starting this, and just like trying to be creative with comedy, because I changed my major in school. I went from the business school into communications, and I'm trying to embrace my creative side more, which is mostly just tweeting like the word piss and dick and shit a lot. But that's what I like. Like, I don't like to be fully in. Like, I like
dick
to.
and shit. That's what
I'm not on Twitter all the time. Like, I can't, when something funny or interesting's happening, I can't like make some social commentary that people want to hear. But like, I'm definitely the guy to come to where, like, if you want to, like, I take the weekends off, and during the week I'll tweet a few hundred times, and like the word fuck is in probably every single tweet I write, and it's working. It's going well. Because that's who I am.
Yeah.
Yep, boss. To what you were saying, it is hard to really, at least the way I've always done it. Like, it's hard to garner any interest if you're not talking about what the timeline's talking about. Like, since I've started this job, like, I haven't tweeted as much, I haven't followed along as much as to what was going on. Like, there'll be times where I'll just be sitting, like, I'll have a 5-minute break, and I'll just like bother to catch up, and I'll send out a tweet about it. But like, I was like convinced that I had just completely, like, I was just like, oh, I'm not funny anymore, because nothing was getting any response. And then yesterday I was actually like following college football as college football was going on, gained like 60 followers, and I was like, oh, okay. So it's just like a timing thing. I have to bother to be interested. And I was just like, I don't know that I'm going to have the time or the ability to do this year. So I don't know. I hope I do, because it has brought a lot of joy.
It's fun, man. Like, it's it's like it's brought. Yeah, I mean, like, I've met you guys. I've met tons of awesome people. I've gotten free T-shirts from it, and freelance jobs, and
Fancy
like, it's awesome. But like, at this point, I'm just like, it's like you just can't go on without like somebody. Like, I forgot, like, I hadn't been on Twitter like literally all day, right? Like, I had not been on it, and I came through and made like one tweet, and it was like during the time when like the NYPD was like announcing like the Eric Garner, like, it was like a very serious, solemn time, but I had no clue about it, right? Like, I literally was not on Twitter. I came and did it. Someone, I just feel like what great fucking timing. But I was like, I don't know what's even going on. They're announcing things. I was like, okay, well, like, when I got on an hour ago, and like, I mean, and just scrolled, I was like, okay, well, clearly they've already announced this, but they hadn't actually announced it. It was like the pre-announcement, and I was like, holy God, like, and it's just like, it's like I'm a sensitive enough person where I'm like, I don't want to piss people off like without justification, and it's like, okay, well, I feel bad about that, but then it's like every time you want to do something, it's like, I'm gonna get this backlash or whatever. But then at the end of the day, like, you just get drunk and then you just go, fuck it, I don't really care about any of you, like, you know what I mean? So, but it does take its toll. Like, you want to be fun, and you don't want to have to constantly be like, oh, this person doesn't like that person, or this thing happened, and deal with that. I just like, dude, like my Twitter bio says, I just want to have fucking fun, man. Like, my life is great, and it has a lot of responsibility that I want to shirk, and Twitter allows me to escape from that for like, a couple hours or whatever throughout the day. So like, just let me be and let me do my thing. So hopefully.
Word.
Yeah, I think this year I want to try and meet more people. I want to, like,
I'm trying to branch out also. Yeah.
I've met maybe 10 people just through Twitter. I like to do more of that. It's always fun. So hoping to get something out of that, make like real human connections with people. And
I have had some really good tweet ups this past year. Met some really, really cool people. I've made some people, like, I've made a couple people who I consider to be like some of my best friends through originally meeting on this website. Like, it's wild. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Like, some of the most like when I was doing the stuff for Complex and go up to New York, and like, I met plenty of people like Plague Lovers Logan and a bunch of other people, and it's like, yo, this is awesome. Like, you just kind of already can be friends, like, you have there's an underlying base of like stuff you can talk about, number one, but then also two, you're just like, you're kind of comfortable with them, and so it's not like that, like feeling someone else out, like, what's their humor? If I make a baby dick joke, like, are they gonna laugh at it? Like, of course they're gonna laugh at it. If I show them my micro penis, are they going to laugh? No, they already know about my micro penis, and that's why they love me. So, but yeah, definitely, there's a few more people I still want to meet. So yeah, I'm excited. So I'm out of eggnog, so I gotta dip. because I'm gonna start shaking soon and go into violent seizures. Remember when like Lil Wayne almost died on the airplane? That's like me if I go 2 hours without eggnog in my system.
It's fucking disgusting, dude.
It is gross, man. But like, yeah, like the next day, I'm just like, okay, so so this is my bowel movements the day after I drink eggnog. So like, imagine Swamp Thing. So imagine Swamp Thing, the Swamp Thing, but like as a girl, okay, and then they had like an aborted fetus, Swamp Thing, like, and then 15 of those shooting out of a butt. That's what my bowel movements are the day after the eggnog. But it cleans me out, man. I've literally lost pounds the day after drinking eggnog. I don't know what it is, but I love it.
God, Jesus, it's so gnarly.
All right, guys. Well,
So on that note,
on that note, have a good night. I love you guys. Hey, hey, guys, don't tell anybody, but I might get to have sex with my wife. She let me see a boobie. She let me see a boobie last night.
Nice. I had sex earlier today. Woo!
What's your favorite part of the pussy?
Probably the back.
The back? Yeah.
I'm a big which way you're facing. I guess I'm not sure quite what you're asking.
Yeah.
The sides. The sides.
What about? Yeah. Well, what about you, Jacob? What's your favorite part?
I have no answer.
Like the doors and the hood and the wheels.
Yeah, I think my favorite one is the pedal node.
The what?
the pedal node.
Oh Christ!
It's right next to the rose bulb.
Right.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I prefer no vagina.
All right, okay. This is my wife's gonna get mad at me because we're supposed to be watching some TV together. But I'm gonna this last thing. Have you ever? What's the weirdest? I wish my big toe has never been in a vagina, and I kind of would like to try that at some point, like just my big toe, you know. So I was wondering, you guys ever think of that, or is you got some other kind of weird thing?
You're definitely nogged up right now. I can tell. I can tell from the way you're talking.
Listen, man. I'm used to beer, and then sometimes I do whiskey, but I'm almost out of that. So I have this this brandy, and this stuff is I don't know, man. It's got me feeling good.
Sweet.
All right, I gotta go. I love you all.
Buttsketeers. Let you try the toe tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's called Snort the Camel. So I'm gonna go try that and skeet some butts. Skeet, skeet.
Give it the toe. All right, dude. All right, I guess we're hanging up now.
That ended well.
Boss got drunk and signed off. All right. All right. Well, there's probably people still watching us, so we'll say good night to them and good night to everybody and good night to you.
Good night, everyone.
All right. See you, dude. I'll talk to you.
See ya.